The P0087 code in the Ford Focus is tightly connected with the high-pressure fuel pump, since the code says that the fuel pressure on the rail is low. If you dig in forums, you will most likely find two culprits for this code: the HPFP, which is the high-pressure fuel pump, and also the rail pressure sensor, which is the sensor whose readings trigger this P0087 code. But before you spend a lot of money on new parts, there are several things you will want to know. First of all, the P0087 is very rarely the only code you will have in your vehicle. If there is a combination of codes, it's always easier to locate the problem. For example, if this code is accompanied by P008A, it means the initial culprit is the low pressure fuel pump that's located in the tank. It's much harder to get to, but the pump itself is not that expensive. You can replace the entire pump assembly or just replace the pump and save some money. But there is an even more interesting trick. If you get a good Ford compatible scanner with a good range of live data, you may measure both LPFP and HPFP pressure when you drive or when the car idles. And this will give you much more information on what's triggering the code. For example, in the Focus ST, the LPFP should give a steady 80 psi pressure. The HPFP will fluctuate according to the engine speed and load. Now, if you eventually suspect the HPFP, I would replace the rail pressure sensor first, since it's cheaper, and if it fails, it's almost impossible to say if the pump or the sensor is at fault. Also, if you eventually replace the HPFP, it makes sense to take off the injectors and check them, as well as clean them with the help of professional equipment. Unfortunately, broken high-pressure pumps tend to throw a lot of metal shavings into the system, so you may end up having other codes when you reassemble everything.